Patrick McNeil joined now at the intermission by Cape Breton Eagles rookie defenseman Tomas Lavoie. Thomas, we're past the halfway mark of the season now. What are your thoughts on your year and the year for the team so far?
I think we all agree that we're getting better every day. It was a tough start of the season, but now we're getting better, and personally, I feel that I'm more confident too, so it's getting better for me too.
And of course, number one pick in the QMJHL. Obviously, you knew a few days ahead of time to get to Cape Breton, but when did you know you were going to be number one, and just how special was that to go number one?
I meet the team 3 weeks before the draft, and they tell me that it's not an interview today, it's a meeting. So as soon as they say that, I know that I was getting drafted by the Cape Breton Eagle, and that was awesome that day in Cape because I was there for the draft, and it was awesome. One of my best memories in hockey right now.
And the last 3 years, there has not been an in-person draft, but for the guy picked number one, it's as close as it gets because they can bring you to Cape Breton. If you talk to the guys a couple of years older than you, I don't know, maybe rub it in that you had a bit more of an in-person experience?
They probably like more when they were in person,
Sure.
The draft. I know next year is going to be in person, but for me, it was awesome to be first overall, and being in Cape for that was a great experience. I appreciate that. The team, what they made for me was awesome.
It was kind of neat the other day. We were at a restaurant in Halifax, and we noticed that James Shepard was on the wall, and you had the chance to meet him. You're both number one picks to play for the Eagles. What kind of advice did he give you, and how cool was it to be surrounded by all the alumni?
The night after the draft, I was in the lobby of the hotel with him, and we were chatting for like 30 minutes, and he was always telling me advice, and the huge advice he told me was to take step by step, don't rush anything, go day by day, and it will be great.
It's pretty great, too, that you two are totally different generations, but now you're tied together by that. And it was surprising your dad said he was happy to see you go away. A lot of the time, parents might want their kids to be closer to home, but he said that there was a good thing for that for you.
Yes, exactly. My both parents are grateful for me, and they're really happy for me. To see that I was first, and that day was awesome for us.
You and the rest of your defense partners were really thrown into the fire earlier this year because I think it was 3 games in a row in that first 2 weeks of the season where you lost a defenseman and you ended up playing 25, 30 minutes a game, almost unheard of for a 16-year-old D. Looking back, how tough was that and how much did it help your development?
Mentally was really tough. I mean, me and Daigle were both playing 25, 30 minutes and we're 16 and 17. It was tough for me the first half of the season because Langlois Buteau was injured, and playing that much minutes for 16 years old, I was not expecting that, but there's something that said that when you play against the best, you get better, and that's the thing I can said for me. And now I improved my game, and we are 6 full D7, can say, and I'm playing the time I should play at 16.
Yeah, I probably appreciate that even more after the way the beginning of the season went. You mentioned Jeremy Langlois, obviously not with the Eagles anymore, but a big influence on you. Just talk about being his defense partner for a while.
Yeah. He was a brother for me. He's the first one who welcomed me here. Obviously, after I saw the trade in Quebec, I cried a little bit, honestly. It's really tough for me right now because he was like my big brother, always there for telling me what to do, getting better and everything. And I really miss him right now, but we got Beggs and Schmidi that they're there for me too, Shortle too. Honestly, I appreciate that for them.
It's cool. In Jeremy's perspective, he spent 3.5 years, and it's neat to know that even in that last half year, he was still having a big impact. Big year for yourself, getting to go to U17, so just tell us about the experience.
The best of the best were there in Vancouver. I was playing against Barclay Caton and Maxim Celebrini was in my team, but there are 2 incredible players there, and I mean, for the experience was awesome there. I take few experience there to move my puck quickly, and as soon as I get back from there and the first game in Rimouski, I felt that the game was slower than usual, but it was awesome, and I can now take a lesson from that.
I dropped the ball by not asking William Shields this because it would apply to him as well, but your agent is Taylor McDougall.
Yes, and Mark Levin, and the same agency. They're working together.
Did Taylor tell you anything about his time in Cape Breton? It's probably surreal for him now that he's representing players that play with the Eagles.
He didn't talk about his time in Cape Breton so far, so I'll ask him next time I saw him.
Well, he's probably trying to be impartial because I'm sure he has plenty of other players around the QMJHL. You finished the homestand with 2 points against Shawinigan, first 2-point game in the QMJHL, so congratulations for that. Do you feel the offensive side of your game coming along?
Yes, like I said, I'm taking confidence every day, and obviously that game was awesome for me. I felt that I was really good, and I was moving the puck quickly, skating with speed. I hope it's not going to be my last game with 2 points in the queue, but if I'm still playing like that, good things are going to happen to me.
I feel there'll probably be a few more coming down the road. It may have been that game, or it was an earlier game prior. You get to skate with the 7th player. How cool is that for players when you have the kids standing by your side?
I mean, it's the next generation for us. They're involved in that, and they will be grateful next year. For me, it's awesome to saw that I'm someone's favorite player, and I really like that.
We talked about all the injuries earlier on defense, and you talk about being with Langlois, but you have had the chance to play with a lot of different people just because of the way the lineup has shaken down. Do you think that helps your development, getting to play with different partners?
Obviously, yes, but I also like that when you have a D partner, like this time, I'm still playing with Bigger every games, and it's awesome because after a few games, you know what he can do and what we can do together, and you know him and he know you. So it's awesome to play with a D partner that you know, but when you switch D partners, the key is like the communication, and you need to communicate every time.
You mentioned Bigger, and obviously you're getting to know him very well. He's a veteran in the league, but how do you think he's done in his adjustment to Cape Breton? He obviously knows the Maritimes pretty well.
He's awesome for the team right now. He's a great defensive player and offensive player, such a good IQ, and really liked him. Like yesterday, I saw his backhand pass in the middle for Squires. It was awesome, and I told him.
The last thing I'll ask, you kind of touched on this already. If somebody hadn't seen you play before, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Honestly, two-way defenseman. I really like to join the rush for an offensive zone, but I need to do my job defensively too, getting better there and move the puck quickly.
Well, fans will continue to enjoy that progress and enjoy it so far. Best of luck the rest of the way, Thomas. Thanks for this.
Thank you very much.
That's Tomas Lavoie joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Cape Breton Credit Union Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.